Hi everyone and welcome back. So we are talking about cookie based authentication and we are doing the code setup. So there will be few things which will still be the same like the database. Database we can copy from the existing session based authentication. If you look at the database code what it contains, it is just a module which is initializing the Postgres database connection, right? This is the root module and how to initialize it. It is just using the same asynchronous initialization of a TypeORM module where you are passing the configuration options which contains the database URL which looks something like this. Type is Postgres and SSL. Okay. So what I will do is I will copy and paste this thing. Okay. What it is, it contains the database configuration and how to initialize it. In the main.ts, we will initialize it. So inside app module, we are doing db module.forRoot and passing all the entities. Same thing we will do. db module.forRoot. And I will copy this code in the source app module. Okay. Inside import, because this is the external module we are importing. db module we can import. User entity we are going to create. So once we have the entities, we will pass it here. So what this db module is doing? db module is actually providing us the database connection. We are calling db module.forRoot for initializing the connection, which is calling for root async. We are passing config module. Config module is nothing but providing the database connection URL. So we also need to have a config service somewhere set up. So let's go to this project. How we were managing the config, that we can copy from here. So app module. So we are using just a simple NestJS config module for root. What it is doing is it is capturing everything from the from the .env file and giving us everything inside a config service. So app module. Let's see, do we have a config module? We can import it. Yes. And I will try to import things which are needed here like TypeORM, Postgres, NestJS, TypeORM, all these modules. I have fixed the dependencies and now you can see I can do npm run build. Package.json error. Let's see what it is. What is error here? I don't see there is any error. Let's see the project again. Okay, I'm not in the right directory. Sorry for that. I need to go to the NestJS setup, npm run build. So now I'm the right directory and it is working fine. So what I did, config module.forRoot, db module. So db module is same thing. It is initializing asynchronously our TypeORM module. It needs env file to get the database URL. And we already have a Postgres running. So what I will do is I will copy both these files. So what this env contains, the database URL. We don't need Redis. We don't need session, but we need database something like this. So we need to check our database is running on this port or not. Docker compose override file and 5433. Okay, things looks fine. I can even start this application. npm run start will start this application. Let's see what we get. Yes, and my application is started. Config module initialized, TypeORM module initialized. That means our database module setup is correct. I mean, this is what I copied, and every project will need this config database module because I'm using TypeORM. Here you can change the type to Postgres, MySQL, and initialize the different type of connections. I mean, here for root, here you can check, okay, database type is Postgres, return this kind of a configuration. Here we are passing all the entities, synchronization true. That means whenever TypeORM starts, it synchronizes the entities into the database tables. Logging true false, it will show you the SQL on the console. SSL is disabled for the development. So this is a simple database setup. Now we will start adding the more libraries. Currently our project contains not many things. I just added a couple of things like NestJS TypeORM, Prisma we don't need because Postgres we need, Redis we don't need. I will remove those things which we don't need. Passport and passport strategies we need, so I'm just keeping that dependency. NestJS GWT, passport, TypeORM, all these configurations we have. So let's start adding the user module and the auth module with the controller and their services. So now we have database setup. Now we just need to do what? Inside domain, you can start creating user entity, pass the reference of user entity here, so it will bootstrap that. So let's try to do one simple thing. We will try to copy the user entities from here and see the magic. So here I had a user entity. So let's copy this user entity here and try to pass the reference. So just try to show you how all these things are connected. So I will import this thing and I will start the application again. And you can see it will try to synchronize the user table. You can see user table doesn't exist earlier. Now it sees the okay, user entity has been added. I need to load this. So it has created this table. You can see the SQL create user default with these attributes. Okay. We'll try to define our user table in nicer way. So let's work on that.